At what age do you remember, like at what part of your life and what age do you remember going, oh, I am different because I'm being told I'm different so much?
Well, I remember that the first time I ever kind of heard about this.
Yeah.
I was a little kid, 5 years old. I'm in the car at night with my family. My brother, my older brother, suddenly just chimed in like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, so why does Tina talk weird?"
How old was this guy? Did he have a seatbelt on? Was there central locking?
7. He was like 7, okay? Like,
Yo, man.
in that kind of like socially random way that only kids can do.
That's what
7,
kills me.
8. Yeah.
No, you know what I love? Because you're in a car, you're a family. So it's not even like an outsider thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he says it, not to you, by the way, goes like you're not there. Yo, Mom and Dad. Like he's been holding this in for so long.
7 years.
Yo, Mom and Dad. Yo. Yeah, man. Okay, I gotta ask now, bruh.
And you know this guy, it's not like he just met you.
That's
He's
what I'm
known you
saying.
for 7 years.
That's what I'm
All of
saying.
his life.
And I wasn't even talking. It's just,
What the hell?
This is What Now with Trevor Noah. Where'd you come from?
today or like in my life?
I mean, you can answer either one.
Let's start with your life first.
Well, I actually live in Boston now.
Like you live there,
Yeah,
Huh.
for real. I
Boston.
moved there. I mean,
Am I saying it right?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
How are you? I'm from
Boston.
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 I'm from
No,
Boston.
It's not Boston. It's Boston.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Except I'm from Cambridge.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Wait, so why did you move there? Where did you come from originally that you moved there?
Vermont. Yeah, I lived up in New England. And then lived here for 6 years.
Yeah.
In Bushwick. And then I just hit a wall. Well, I'm on tour so much anyway, but I like, depending on the conversation, like if I can't really get into it, I just say, oh, I'm on tour. I didn't want to pay New York rent. But like the real reason I lived in Bushwick. Do we know Bushwick?
Yeah, we know Bushwick.
But I hit a wall. I couldn't, like, you love Bushwick until you hate it. Yeah. But it's so young, bohemian. And like, I moved there at 25.
Oh, yeah, so
when
that's the right
I
time.
was
Yes.
Young, bohemian, polyamorous. Like,
Young bohemian polyamorous is a great t-shirt.
Polyamorous is better than promiscuous. Any day. Make the right choice.
It's ethical. It's ethically monogamous. Ethically non-monogamous.
And ethically monogamous. Let's just start that as a thing. I'm ethically monogamous. Thank you very much.
I feel that's how being out there feels like. It's like I had to disclose that I was monogamous.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
people
Off
know
the
you're
bat.
not. Yeah, because you know when you're in like what I like to call like vibe places.
Yes.
The default flips.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you'll be in a place where what you normally think of as default is now no longer the default. So when you're in that place, you have to now say certain things.
You have to be
so when you're in those places, it's vibe, cool, fashion, everything. You have to be like, oh, by the way, I'm straight. They're like, oh wow, okay. You look at you. When did you get here? What are you doing here?
Because people automatically assume.
Yeah, because
you're
the vibe
here.
the vibe of the
place.
the vibe of the place is like it's dictated by something else. The
Right.
fashion, the views that people have.
Yeah.
I actually think it's cool for people to go to places like that so that they can see what it's like to not be default. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm monogamous now and straight because I did the whole like it's not for lack of trying. Like
You tried it?
I did the whole, and so when I came out to my Bushwick friends at a cover bar as monogamous, they were like, "Good for you. That's amazing, Tina. Like, wow, sounds like a joke is 100%.
No, that's why it's funny to me.
So how long in Bushwick now?
Well,
Before you left?
6 years. Yeah.
You did your time.
Well,
Till 31.
I got to the age of 32.
Yeah.
And that was just like,
Okay, but like no shade to Boston, but like why Boston?
okay. Well,
I don't know of anyone who moves to Boston like after New York, especially if they're in
Yeah.
like comedy and stuff.
I get that all the time. I get, why Boston?
Okay, great. So I'm
Why?
not crazy. Yeah.
No, but again, Cambridge. So I live in Cambridge, which is like Harvard, MIT area.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from Vermont, but I'm from Middlebury, Vermont, which is a college, like a very high-end college, liberal town.
Yeah.
So it's the mixture of like, I mean, very familiar to me to be among college.
You just want to be around college
Among
kids.
intellects and organized
People-
people.
Oh, I was going in a
And-
different direction. I thought Tina just wants to be around
who
college
are wearing
kids.
sweats.
I was like,
sweatshirts
what
with the name of the-
what are you exposing here?
Oh,
Are you coming out as
no.
something else,
No,
Tina?
no.
Coming out as an intellectual.
Hello.
Kids. If there's kids around me. Kids with hope and dreams.
It's not the kids, it's the professors.
Oh, it's
I mean, here's the thing. I love being around intellectual people
Yeah.
because they are the freakiest ones.
damn.
They, yeah, okay,
Why are you saying it like that?
yeah, like, dude.
Have you been freaky or have you been intellectual? What are you about?
I come out to you as normal. I'm from Bushwick.
This is a safe table. Yeah, okay.
No, when I saw that picture of Stephen Hawkins at Epstein Island,
Then you were like,
then I knew.
I mean that is a harsh but accurate example.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it again sounds like a joke, but 100% true that intellectual academic nerds, you know, they're the ones who they get down. I mean, they, you know, so much of my comedy is about kink. It's about alternative underground lifestyles, and people are like, "Oh, why would you move away from New
You're
York?"
like, you moved into it.
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is that like, yeah, of course it's out here in New York, but in Cambridge, you know, I actually think there's more creativity and more energy towards kink spaces, alternative, goth, you know, all the above.
do you think it's because the environment is all about people exploring in general? Like what do you think it is?
You know,
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like if you're in a learning / experimenting
Yeah.
environment, why would that not extend beyond your science and your math and your history and your writing into your sex life?
you know, I've been thinking about this. I don't 100% know, but I have theories. What
You've come to the right
As
place.
do I.
well, I
Did I
think
tell you I'm a professor? In bullshit.
I was expecting to breach this topic maybe like 45 minutes ago.
Oh no! We start hot. We go
ahead.
straight
No.
in.
So here's my theory, and you know, I think it's too easy to say, oh, to be in a more kind of conservative area that
Yeah.
breeds that breeds this kind of rebellion, kink, underground. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's that simple. I really think that, in my experience, at least, the more logical that people get into the way the world works and way the humans work, the more permission they have, I think, to kind of explore who they
An
are.
experiment, yeah.
Well, I think that combined with a little bit of boredom, to be honest. Because being out in Boston now, it's sort of like Boston has a lot, but it's no New York.
Yeah, definitely.
And to lower this kind of standard of day-to-day stimulation, it really did for me. Your brain always kind of builds up something to fill the gaps, and I think that for me,
no pun intended, because I know where Eugene's mind goes. Fill the gaps. While we're talking about Kink. Sorry, Tina, I just had to block him. I saw his eyes change.
Why are you Professor Xavier and me? I didn't do anything. I was paying attention. I was loving Tina's theory. Leave me out of your...
If there's a bus, my friend, I will throw you under it.
I think that it's that combination, is boredom and this human nature of our brain to fill in the gaps with just our own stimulus. And then, of course, there's the elephant in the room that often academic people, they're in role playing D&D.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
There's a large percentage who are autistic, and that is a huge populace among the kink scene.
Really?
Also, oh yeah.
Autism.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Tina, where have you been all my life?
But
what's your address? We have to hang out. Wait, what? Tell us more about the autism
How are
bit.
you?
How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm from Boston.
No, Boston. No, but I think that autism, people who have autism, they do find a lot of comfort and community in any kind of alternative scene.
Yes. Because it's automatically welcoming to the idea of the other. Like it's more accommodating. Yeah, it's more accommodating than a default.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. And there's this masking, what they call masking, which we all do.
Right.
Which is the concept of appearing normal among society in order to be accepted and having that guard let down, it really, there's like, with kink and with a lot of alternative spaces, especially with the internet, there's a cringe factor that people now have to be aware of. And I with Kink D&D, any kind of nerd fandom, that's where dark romance comes from. This
what dark romance?
Yeah, kind of like
sounds like a Lady Gaga album.
Well, no, it could be.
I thought it was just like Eugene's affairs in general.
Like dark romance, like
How many bastards are there today? Every second. Gudu.
I feel like I'm learning so much about you. Moment.
I feel the same. Like I'm like, whoever.
Oh man,
you seem like my target demographic.
I
am for this conversation. But like dark romance, kind of like fan fiction.
Yeah.
Twilight, for example. Although that's a terrible example, but that kind of have you ever been to like an anime convention?
No, I've never been.
Okay,
I've been to Comic-Con.
You've been to Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, yeah.
When were you going to tell me this?
and people were dressed up in costume and
You've been to Comic-Con?
Naruto and like
No, man, you're lying.
furries and
No, wait.
fur.
When
fairies
what were you doing there?
in Johannesburg? They have one.
But you went.
Yeah.
Why would you go? You don't even watch anime.
Do you? Is this another? Are you ready to come out about being an anime watcher?
He doesn't watch anime. I know this for sure.
I went to go watch the people who watch anime.
Oh.
It is good people watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm good at people watching. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Okay. So sorry, you were saying so anime.
Well. So what they call fandom, which is this tight community based around an IP, some show, book, series, and this cluster of people come and they whether it's cosplaying or coming together, and they it really. I'm not going to say the whole thing is erotic, but eroticism is a large part of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is so I love anime.
Yeah.
And you know this about me. He's seen my TV. He doesn't. This guy's gonna act like he doesn't know
I had
me.
something in my eye. What's wrong with you? I was like,
No, so I love anime, and it doesn't matter whether it's the male characters or the female characters. All of it, I think, has an air of eroticism around it. Like all of it has there's just like there's an undercurrent that's constantly flowing in anime all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, human nature, I think that's what makes it so compelling, and in my opinion adds to the escapism of being in this fictional world and being able to explore fictional worlds in a variety of different ways.
Right. Did you grow up as an anime fan? Were you?
I grew up adjacent to anime. So
what does that mean? Just cartoons? What is anime adjacent?
It means that I did not watch anime myself. However, my best friends were all.
I know this excuse.
You're a victim.
I myself do
anime
not.
watchers.
Oh please,
So am I.
Let me tell you something. No. I hate all you people who use us anime watchers to watch and then claim you don't watch it, but then you'll be like, can you rewind? Wait, just rewind there.
Yeah,
I want to see what Ganimaru said there. Just rewind. Oh, so you know his name? No. It's not even like that. It's not even like that.
It's not even, like what? I just One Piece. I mean, cute characters. No, but I was that kid who would go over to the basement, the furnished basement of a friend's house, and I don't know, like I wouldn't get into this actual show, but I would get into the the passion for and she would go on these message boards and just role play with all these people.
I think you bring up a good point there. I think watching people who are fans of something is equally as enjoyable for us.
You love that.
Because it's passion.
No, Eugene loves that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
He's a passion vampire.
Yeah, when someone has a passion, I'm like, tell me more.
Eugene is like,
I watch
Eugene
their
is
misery,
obsessed.
I watch their joys, their highs, their lows.
Well, I remember that one of the greatest memories I had from an ex who was a huge Star Wars nerd.
May the fourth be with him.
Indeed. Well,
we're getting there soon. Sorry.
May the fourth. Can this come out on May 4th?
That would be incredible.
Yes. But probably one of the greatest memories I had was one day he got a package. He said, "It's here." He's a lawyer. He turned into a child, and he rips open. It's a lightsaber. But not even a full lightsaber, like a turned off lightsaber. Like it didn't. It
Oh
did
yeah,
not,
it doesn't do the actual.
It didn't do that.
No.
Nothing.
It's just the have you seen those? They're very beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's it's the handle
It's
of
the
a
handle.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
So it's a thread of a lightsaber. Of a lightsaber. Yes,
but it's like a
press,
lightsaber, but then the Jedi didn't charge it
Yes.
last night. I wonder if that happens sometimes. Like Luke Skywalker and all of them go out, and then they'd be like, "Time to fight, we shall." And there's like, "Oh, Master Yoda, did not charge, you did." And it's like, yeah, I forgot to charge. I put it by the bedside, but then I didn't plug the thing, and then like Darth Vader's like, "You are not my son. I would always charge my lightsaber."
like they just swing it around.
Because we don't know.
Does
like,
this give you a clue of what I'm into?
Oh yeah, that's his.
God. You really are. I'm hitting all your boxes right now. Oh my God, look at
Yeah,
that.
that's fully. Oh wow,
Wow.
damn.
Is that? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's his partner.
I feel like when you said that though, I imagine like them fighting with lightsabers, but just like a portable charger,
Just like a power bank.
I like that.
Just running around with a power bank as well. Bam, 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 bam. Wait, hold on. Can I plug?
in their little rucksack.
Just all of the Jedi sitting in like the airport next to the wall there with their lightsabers just waiting.
You know what I hate about Star Wars is when sometimes in these franchises they make the stormtroopers break character. Because stormtroopers.
Yeah.
We gotta get to the other guy.
Yes.
We gotta find a way
And
to get him.
sometimes you find in the Mandalorian and whoever, you'll find them chilling like, yeah, that kind of sucks.
I hate, you're not wrong.
I'm like,
I hate that.
"Ah!"
Because they have
Yeah.
like, now they've given them like random, you know what I don't like about it?
Yes.
This is why we're friends. I think the thing I don't like about it is the stormtroopers were meant to be like, when I first watched it, it was like these mindless
Yes, drones.
drones that just like move through. But now when they're like people having conversations and personality, now I'm like, oh no. Then I'm like, so you're bad guys now. Before I just felt like they were the forces army.
Yes.
Now I feel like they're like assholes doing a thing
With a personality.
That's what I mean. That's
And
what I
sometimes
mean.
the fact that the helmet can come off, I'm like, it wasn't supposed to be a helmet. You look like one giant unit.
Yes, I like
That's
this.
how I feel about the minions.
The minions?
Yes.
The minions? Like, those things.
Yeah, well, they began as like the background, like the comic relief, and now they have their own movie, and they're
And
back.
you don't like this?
No, I just
I'm...
I like the whole Chaplin, Charlie Chaplin-esque. I like when there's a humorous character that can just come in, come out, and,
Yes.
and that's it. Like
Just pop in. Don't
Then I
have
bet
to
you're gonna hate the
don't have to
Mandalorian then.
constantly be there. Just
Yeah,
pop
because-
in. Upile
pop in, be ominous, pop out.
So you're not a big fan of spin-offs?
No. Although, you know what that reminded me of? And I overheard you talking about your algorithm.
Yeah.
I'm like, what it feeds you. You know what I've been getting? I've been getting like Disneyland and the Universal parks. I like somehow it got wind that I could be very into that, and now it's absolutely all over my feet. Like
Just like Disney World, Disneyland.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I know just like character actors and all the like behind the scenes coming into the parks. Like
What, they feel like you're a fan of like coming into the park?
well so here's
Is that like a genre, like a specific? Because I've never seen a video of the behind the scenes. What do they know about you that we don't?
well, I think they picked up that like I mean I grew up literally in a theater. So my mom and dad were they were set designers and builders and
No
and,
ways.
yeah and
Wait, where was this?
it was in Vermont, and
Yeah.
they worked for a professional opera company and as well as local theater.
Yeah.
And but again, because it was in Millbury, Vermont, which is a college, like highly regarded college town.
Yeah.
It was local theater, but it was
On
like
a grand scale.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean legit.
So they went all out. The costumes were amazing. The set design was amazing.
Yeah.
And then you're a
full on.
kid growing up in this environment. Like, were you like running around the theater backstage?
Yeah,
and...
I was a kid on the blanket in the corner with a pizza. Like, but I would, as I got older, I would help them out and help them, because it was not only effects, it was sets and effects and whatever they need, fog,
okay.
gore,
Okay.
puppetry, all that.
There's always too much
Yes.
fog or too little fog. There's never enough fog. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, but I
On
hate
a
when the fog
stage,
goes up to your knees.
There's
Too much
never
fog.
Yeah, but there's never enough fog, and there's always too much fog.
Ankle covering fog is enough fog. Knee covering fog. Sleepy Hollow. No.
Yeah, but there's never. I've never seen correct fog. Sometimes there's like so much fog and haze, you can't see the audience. The audience can't
too
see
much
you.
fog.
And then sometimes there's no fog. There's just like, it just seems like there's like a small man smoking
like,
on the side of your stage and puffing into the stage. And you can see the audience look off you sometimes like, who's smoking here? And you want to be like, no, it's a fog machine it's a smoke machine that's not doing its job.
Okay, how much fog is enough fog? Trevor's gonna...
Like,
It's like, it's just...
like enough to give ambiance.
Yeah, that's
it's all
it.
about the ambiance.
Yeah, it's got to refract the light.
Wait, so should the
but not
dull the light?
exactly.
So should the fog come out when the person is there or before the person comes out? Should the person come out to the fog? The performer, should they walk into foggy?
Okay, with fog, usually, like, it's there for a reason. It should be at least.
Yeah, should
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, if it were like amateur hour, I think like fog. They're like people would treat fog like you know, to create a feeling, but no,
It's excessive.
Fog,
Yeah.
yeah. Fog should never be the environment. Fog should really just, you know, play a role.
Yes.
in the environment.
Yeah, you want
not become the environment.
Yeah, you want to feel. You know what it is? It's like when the fog is right, when the smoke machine's been used correctly, you don't even realize that it was there. So if someone asked you to re-describe the scene, you wouldn't. I don't think that's the first thing you would bring up. But to your point, when it's like amateur hour, you'll go like, was really foggy, and then it's like, no, then it was too much. It's just got to give you that feeling of like, you know, something.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just, well, I know that there was an opera that my mom and dad worked on where they were, I forget the opera. It might come to me or come to you guys.
Anything is possible.
I know how much you know about the opera.
I mean, we are old hands.
But
We don't like to brag, but
Many have called us the phantoms of the opera knowledge.
and when it doesn't go well, we become les miserables.
I believe it. Okay, so
Was that too much fog?
too much. Okay. Too much fog.
Okay.
Too much fog.
Okay.
You were foggy as hell. Right now. My dad worked on one with seeing the witches around the cauldron. And the cauldron was supposed to bubble and smoke up, and that cauldron was almost the death of him because it had to roll out, so it couldn't be attached.
Yes.
To
The
anything.
smoke machine.
But to your point, it like, I think it was like the first time he did it, it just like they put way too much. The station put way too much ice in it.
The dry ice, yeah.
It just created this curtain of and again they're singing opera. They're professional opera, so they couldn't. It was just they would breathe in and just
breathe.
Yeah. No.
The witch's brew was in effect from the cauldron.
So to round it back to
I feel like that was the most realistic show someone watched.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it sometimes when the characters doing something don't react like humans. So if I was watching an opera where witches were gathered around a cauldron, they start making something,
Witch's
it
brew
bubbles up.
It's not just something.
No, but it's not. Is it always witch's brew?
It is always.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought maybe
they don't
there
make
was, like, different-
kombucha.
I didn't know. I thought maybe
It's
like
called witch's brew for a reason.
I thought one day
you
it's
know
like
who doesn't make
borscht.
witch's brew?
Who?
Wizards. So witches make witch's brew.
Okay.
That's all they make. They don't make fermented malt.
You telling me
They don't make
everything
a
that's in that
Pilsner.
pot is
They
witch's
make,
brew?
Witch's brew. Yeah.
Everything in that pot.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, I didn't
And
know
you
this.
can't take it out without a cackle. Because you can't just put the witch's brew in a vessel.
That's part of the...
I've never seen brew put in an actual chalice. I've seen it like, don't they stir it up and then like
In a chalice, it invokes malice. So it's when someone is getting poisoned.
Who is this
But
guy?
but when it's in a vial,
Oh,
then
then
in a
it's...
vial.
Okay.
it exposes the potency of the brew. Because you must get the reveal, that green liquid.
green.
Yes, because that's the only time you ever see what's inside the witch's brew is inside the little vial. In your head, you're thinking, all of that cauldron for this little vial, it is worth it.
Yes.
The calamity that will ensue after our main character consumes. It's what makes it worth it.
So it really is kombucha. I mean, that's how, this is amazing.
This must have been amazing for you as a kid, though, being in that environment. Because, like, as kids, you want to stay in a world that's as imaginary for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And now you're in that world with your parents, where it's like, what were you like as a kid? Were you...
You're right. That because I was in that environment, I held on to that childlike. I wanted to say wonder, but no, delusion.
Oh, I like that.
Childlike delusion from a lot longer than I thought. And maybe that's kind of what led to the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Was it was a double-edged sword because I grew up thinking much more was possible in this life for me than reality. I didn't, I got this kind of very obtuse version of the world.
Wait, in what way?
Well, I think that mainly, I thought that a lot of elements of life were much more dramatically poetic than they were. I in good ways and bad ways. I learned much about the world from these shows that my mom and dad would do.
Yeah.
I remember that one time they worked on the show Chicago, and I went up to my mom asking what the word murder meant. And she went on and told me that is where a person would kill another person. But then, because my head was so in line with main character essence, and I got immediately, I understood that, we live in a world where people just go out doing that. They kill other people for no reason.
Right.
It was sort of, and here's where I got weird. It was, instead, normally I would maybe be freaked out by that or not want to leave the house, but I sort of, it didn't scare me. as much as I thought I would. And I kind of went around sort of embracing this ominous vibe of the world. And that's why when I was...
The idea that people murdered people, you were like, it made the world more interesting?
Yeah, it did. Well, because it just, like, it played into this, there really are villains.
Bad actors,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It turned it into like a play now. It made it more interesting. It made it...
And I think that, exactly, and if it was a play, that meant everything had a purpose. Everything had a reason and a story arc.
Yeah.
So, one of the hardest things that I had to learn was that the world had nuance.
We're still dealing with that today.
It was, and the bad guy sometimes does come out in the end. Yeah. It did evoke this kind of fearlessness that I did have, that everything would work out. And that's why I call it a bit of a delusion, was that I don't know, I kind of thought that once things just got so bad, someone would break into song and dance, and everything would just...
I know what you mean.
And the bad guy would go away, and and again, it just... everything would happen on paper exactly as it was meant to happen,
So then how does that journey take you into stand-up? Because you're in theater, or I'm assuming this. Did you go from theater to theater? Did you...
Well, so I gave up on theater. I wanted to kind of naturally be an actor.
Yeah.
But I gave up on that because I have cerebral palsy, and that was... I never felt different. I was just told I was different.
Yeah.
I found out.
At what age do you remember, like at what part of your life and what age do you remember going, oh, I am different because I'm being told I'm different so much?
Well, I remember that the first time I ever kind of heard about this.
Yeah.
I was a little kid, 5 years old. I'm in the car at night with my family. My brother, my older brother, suddenly just chimed in like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, so why does Tina talk weird?"
How old was this guy? Did he have a seatbelt on? Was there central locking?
7. He was like 7, okay?
Yo, man.
And that kind of like socially random way that only kids can do.
That's what kills
7,
me.
8, yeah.
No, you know what I love? Because you're in a car, you're a family. So it's not even like an outsider thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he says it, not to you, by the way, goes like you're not there. Yo, Mom and Dad. Like he's been holding this in for so long.
For 7 years.
Yo, Mom and Dad. Yo. Yeah, man. Okay, I gotta ask now, bruh.
And you know this guy, it's not like he just met you.
That's
He's
what I'm
known you
saying.
for 7 years.
That's what
All
I'm saying.
of his life.
And I wasn't even talking. It just
What the hell?
came out.
Oh, man.
I know, and so that caught me off guard, but then caught my mom and dad off guard, and they just in the moment I think they panicked and silence, and then my dad he said, "We're not going to talk about this,"
Oh, damn.
and that's it, and
Oh, shame.
yeah, and so I learned right off the bat, or I thought I had learned that, okay, well, A, something's wrong with me, and B, it's a bad thing. It's shameful, tragic.
Right,
It's something that we cannot say. It cannot be accepted.
Damn.
Among. But it took me a while to learn about what was wrong with me, because when you're a kid, I mean, having cerebral palsy, having brain damage, how do you describe that to a kid, And, well, in hindsight, I'm actually very, very thankful that my mom and dad their approach was just let me be a kid. Because going forward, I learned to separate my disability from me. Even though the world does not do that, like the world just
conflates the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
But back then, when I think about like being disabled, I really do remember like I was a normal kid, and then one day it just kind of landed on me.
So I'm fascinated here. There's a few things I'm trying to understand. So the one is, I have like the most, rudimentary understanding of cerebral palsy. But help us understand, when you're saying like brain damage and disability, it's not an acute incident, right? It's
with cerebral palsy, it can be caused by a lot of things, but most likely it's oxygen deprivation. Yes. So for me, I had like a hard birth where like so my mom had a C-section from my brother. Again, it's my brother's fault. had a C-section, and then when I was in labor, she was in labor with me, with each other.
When we were in labor.
I accidentally
Didn't kill me.
I punched my way out of the old C-section.
Wait, what?
Yes. Instead of the
But luckily there's a 2 C-section minimum.
I know. It was one of 2.
Because
I picked the one that was sealed up. And I punched out of the womb, but I did not punch. I didn't alien my way out. Like I was still in her. I was just among other organs.
Damn.
Yeah. That's a real thing that can really happen.
Damn.
Wait,
I didn't know that's a concept.
Then you... And then what happens?
And then because of that, I got deprived of oxygen. The umbilical cord, I don't know what happened, if it wrapped around my
neck,
my neck or it got strained, but I was dead for 20 minutes.
No way.
And thank God. So the doctor at the time was at home. My mom's main doctor was at his home.
Oh, I thought you were saying the doctor was at home. I was like, what world are you growing up in when you're like, I was being born and the doctor was at home?
No,
and then they were like, all right, maybe we should call him now. Oh, you mean her main doctor? Okay, that makes more sense.
The main, I guess,
gynecologist, obstetrician,
was at home. He speeds. The cops are literally following him, and he speeds. And thank God, modern medicine. But like I was
clinically dead for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
You can't remember anything because your life can't flash before your eyes because you haven't been born yet.
You'd be very
sad. What's gonna flash?
I wish so hard that I had the answer for you. I don't remember shit. Maybe I do, but I'm not going to tell you for free. Okay?
I thought we were friends. Doesn't past life regression just kind of?
That's if you want to get the full story, check out Tina's Patreon. She'll be telling you the full story on her Patreon. If you want to know what happens, life after death, before life, then you can check out Tina's Patreon.
Patreon $5, and I will tell you what happens to your bodiless soul.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, because we got more What Now after this.
Doctor comes, resuscitates you.
Yes, but after that, so funny thing, when you're deprived of oxygen for that long, there's permanent damage in your brain. So, it's quite miraculous that I had all that happened to me for that long, and I came out less affected than I am.
Right.
It's a miracle.
It really is. It's quite amazing that I'm here right now doing this. And yet, I wish so much that I could have this conversation with every person that I meet on the street, but I can't.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because, like...
They don't want to pay your Patreon.
I know. I put the QR code in their face. No, but that's the thing, and I know this is the universal problem, but I'm kind of, I mean, not to build myself up here, but I'm walking around as a very what would the word be? Against all odds.
Yeah.
I'm walking around.
Completely.
Defiant, yes. But the people that I meet, they see my disability and it's a problem for them. You know, it's
their problem.
It's still kind of the judgment that I receive.
Judgment? I wouldn't have thought judgment. I would have thought pity, but I wouldn't have thought judgment.
You know, it depends on how old you are.
And the situation.
Wow.
Yes. As a kid, it was really interesting. As a kid, it was very much pity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Into my young adult life, it was a sort of judgment, not judging me for being disabled, but particularly here in New York.
Yeah.
There is judgment, and again, depending on the situation, but often for being out in the world and requesting or taking a little bit longer with things.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
People, you know, I think people often like to box, you know, put me in a box and that. Well, if you are affected, then why not just go about your little life somewhere among helpers and you know, to coexist, I think, and to actually go into spaces where I'm not always expected. I think people, they don't want to be judgmental, but they do kind of, they're caught off guard by it. And so I think they're a little bit frustrated with this coexistence of it.
I think I'm guilty of that sometimes. Like I've realized there's a thing I have to, because I fly a lot. I've realized there's a thing I have to do sometimes when disembarking a plane or even when boarding it. And I had to do this the other day. I had to say, old people are old. They're not doing anything to you. I literally had to say this to myself.
Yeah.
Because I was frustrated. There was an old couple in front of me, just like leaving the plane, and I was behind them, and I was like in my head, I was just like, what? And I had a feeling almost like, why are you doing this? Like, if you're gonna be old, why not just wait in the plane while everyone else leaves? But then I was like, yo, old people are just old. They're not doing anything to you. They're not. But I do think I appreciate that you said New York. I do think, and this is just anecdotal, that it is probably more pervasive in the bigger cities, because one of the things a big city does is it robs you of everything personal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we cross the road, there's 100 people, but you don't know anyone and nobody knows you. And when you're in a store, it's like, come on, let's just do this thing. And then there's almost like an idea that people sometimes have where they go, if you're in this coffee shop, that means, yeah, but also that means you can get here. That means there's like this incongruency of, if you're able enough to get here, you should be able enough to speed this up or get out of my way, or
right.
Do you know what I mean? There's this thing that happens in New York, and I noticed it even with cars that get stuck in New York. The difference in, let's say, South Africa, I've seen now that I'm back home more often, is here you'll never see people pushing the car out of the way. Never. It's just not a concept. A car's stuck, everyone will be there behind it. You asshole, driving around it, trying to. But you will never see people get out their cars and be like, all right, let's get this car off the road.
Yeah.
We'll help you push. In South Africa, that's still a thing that you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll still see people go like, we acknowledge that you do not wish to be stuck. We know it's irritating for us, but you don't want to be stuck, so we're going to help you.
And the people behind you have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So they won't get affected as well if we help.
So but it's amazing to hear from the person who's going, you know what I mean? Why am I being made the asshole in the situation?
Yeah, what is collective forgetting on a day-to-day basis that we're all living lives on top of each other, and somehow, again, miraculously making it all happen at once. We're constantly shifting puzzle pieces, and so when there's a stuck car, when there's God forbid an old person,
those ones are so far and few in between these days. Old people are just dying out.
There is this. I mean, they are inconveniences. They are kind of I'm guilty of it too. Almost like, a baby on a plane. That's my example.
A screaming baby on a plane.
A screaming baby.
No. For Tina, it's just a baby on a plane. She has beef with babies on planes. Not if they cry. Tina just sees a baby on a plane and she's like, look at you. You didn't even pay for your ticket, you piece of shit. You're just going to sit here with those chunky, cute thighs looking around. I had to pay and you just get to fly on this for free. I try to sit on someone's lap, but they don't let me fly, you dumbass baby. And they're like, ma'am, please. She's like, okay.
I see like an able-bodied, healthy baby on a plane. I'm like, you goddamn motherfucker. You birth canal bitch.
You southpaw not having.
Oh, goodness.
You stupid air breather. Oh, God.
And then the baby looks at you and goes, are you the last air breather?
Oh, man.
Actually, ironically, babies love me. Baby, like, people think that like kids are freaked out by me. No, kids love me. I'm like more than but bigger. But babies, like, babies don't yet see like a difference. You know who does?
Yeah.
Dogs.
Ha!
No.
Dogs.
You're lying.
Dogs double take.
No, you're lying.
Yeah, they. Not with the voice, but with the way that I walk.
No, you're lying.
Yeah, 100%. small dogs in particular, I think I'll be coming up behind them, and often in New York, especially with the small dogs that are city dogs and maybe a little bit more like fragile.
Fragile, you're right.
They'll if they're coming in one way, I'm coming in another. They will look up and I swear they double take, and then they swerve. They swerve around me to the far end.
This is the wildest thing ever.
I swear. And I'm so offended.
You ever look at them and go, what the fuck?
Like, oh yeah, that one's bred differently. Actually, whenever I see like a disabled dog, like a wheelchair using dog, I wonder, like, oh my god, like, I wonder if they are like ever just like.
I wonder what that could be.
What do you think it is? Wait, so when you're coming opposite directions, and then you do the dog goes. Huh?
Well, again, because
and then there's a part where you're walking behind them.
The way that I walk. I'm unstable. Which, by the way, like, I didn't know that I walked differently until the age of 25.
No.
You know how I learned? A roast battle. I was in a roast battle.
Was it in the car?
I was in a roast battle with a friend of mine, with another comedian, and who's ironically now like one of my best friends. And he said something like, "Oh, Tina's, just an incredible person. Is there anything she cannot do other than walk in a straight line?" And like, it got a laugh, and the comics laughed, and
it's a roast.
Yeah, like, but I was caught off guard because in my head I thought, like, well, that's not like that's uncharacteristic of him to use this like random something not even about me, like
no ways you didn't think that. So we have a friend. He's been on the podcast. His name's Joseph Opio. Mm-hmm. He's from Uganda. He's got a pretty thick accent, and we've talked about this his whole life because he's the most articulate person I know. His vocabulary surpasses everyone that I've ever met, right? But he genuinely thought for like his whole life that he like sounds like Hugh Grant when he speaks. And then like one day, I forget we were having a conversation, and I said to him similar to this, because we would work at the Daily Show together, and I said to him, I'd go, someone said I didn't understand you or something like that. And then he said to me, he's like, "Oh, Trevor, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Why do you always repeat what I'm saying to people, huh?" And I said, "Oh, because they don't hear what you're saying." Then he's like, "No, how can they not hear me?"
Yeah.
And then he said the craziest thing. He was like, "I think oftentimes my command of the English language is even superior to yours."
Fact.
Then I was like, "Yes, but they can't hear what you're saying because of your accent." And he went, What accent?
What?
I said, "Joe, you're joking, right?" And I thought it was the greatest joke ever. So I laughed. And then he's like, no, seriously, what accent?
Yeah.
I said, "Joe, the all of it accent. What do you mean what? What do you mean what accent? Like you're gonna like a slight." And then he asked people, but he had this realization you're having. He had this also as like a 30-something-year-old man, and he said, he's like, "I'm devastated." He's like, I can't believe it. He was on the podcast talking about it. He's like, even now, he's like, he's still in his head sounds like Hugh Grant using the Queen's English.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You don't know how heavy it will actually hit until you are the person. You think like, like it's humorous to everyone else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in your head, it's a mind fuck because it kind of is. Well, I can relate actually to that because when I talk, I sound normal. Like, I sound completely clear, unhindered, quick. I don't know what the science is behind that, but like, that's why I say that, like, it always felt a bit like a conspiracy theory that I didn't feel different. It didn't sound different, but everyone told me that I was, and that I need to, like, articulate more. And when you actually do realize that, like, holy shit, like people are not receiving what I'm pulling out there, or what I'm hearing in my head. It's a bit like when the tree falls in the forest, and no one's hear it. No one can hear it. Doesn't make a sound, and it put me in a whole tailspin of, well, I mean, I know I'm a person that has a disability, and those two things are completely separate. But my God, like, if to everyone else, they're just seeing all one, then what does it matter? Like, you know, what exists more? Is it how I appear to the world that I cannot change, or is it this internal outlook that I have?
Right.
Yeah, it really became which one, not just which one is more important, which one exists. Yeah. So I know that when my friend said that joke about, like, oh, she can't walk in a straight line, and at first I was so confused. I thought it was a stereotype.
Yeah.
He used to, like,
you thought it wasn't because a good roast joke is a joke that is actually about you, and the person is saying something from a place of knowing. A bad roast joke is a joke where somebody just uses a stereotype. It's almost like
inserts you in it.
Well, it's almost like a cheap one, because you go like, oh, you didn't actually have a joke about me, so you just made a joke about what could be about me, but it's not about me.
Low hanging fruit.
Yes, low hanging fruit.
Yeah, and that's why I was shocked. Like, he was a great comic. Like, I was like, why did he do
Did you speak
this?
to him about it afterwards?
Yeah, so after we all piled in a car.
We're back in the car again. We're back in the car.
I knew there was a car involved.
You were not wrong, Eugene.
Back in the car. I've got a lot of cars. Well, isn't it funny, actually? I'm just realizing now that everything that I learned about myself and my cerebral palsy, I learned in a car.
Yeah. Try being on Artemis.
Oh my God, disability in space.
The sequel.
I can only imagine what no gravity will affect. Oh my God.
Yeah, anyway.
I wonder.
My brain went there. So I was like, yeah, what would it be like?
I actually get that a lot too. I get people that ask, like, yeah, well, I've never gotten that one. I've never gotten, but would zero gravity help? But I have gotten, does alcohol help? Does weed help? Does,
Mushrooms?
Every drug. Does kratom help? Even like meditation, even like,
Wait, did someone really suggest meditation? That's
not hypnosis.
That's a pretty gangster one. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty gangster one.
I would have expected hypnosis.
I have a disability.
No,
have you tried breathing for 10 minutes?
In silence.
Maybe you should just sit still for a bit, and then maybe it'll go. You know, for someone, and I'm not even saying they're an asshole. It's just a funny thing for somebody to say to you. You know what I mean? I have a disability. So if you repeat a word, do you have a mantra? You should try using a mantra and say that.
affirmations.
Yeah, but meditation is what people offer when everything else has been taken. So they said,
Kinda.
have you tried? Have you tried? Have you tried?
No, but I get it as well because I see where the person is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
They might be watching your movements.
Yeah.
They might be, and they're like, shame. This person just needs to learn
to be calm.
how to sit still and feel their body, and then they will emerge from this. I can see somebody
Yeah.
thinking that. Because here's the thing that we also take for granted in life, right? And I don't want us to forget the car part, by the way, with the friend.
Yes.
But here's the thing we forget in life is we as a society are also not taught things, right? So we're not taught about disabilities. We're not taught about cerebral palsy. We're not taught most things. So you go, there's a person in a wheelchair. There's a person who walks differently to you. There's a person who speaks differently to you. But because you do not know anything about it, that's all it is. So you then have to use your dumb brain because you have no information to try and quote unquote help the situation because you're like, well, I don't know what this is. So you would suggest meditation because no school has ever taught you about. I don't know anyone in school who learned about disabilities, genuinely. I'm sure there's like one or two.
No.
I didn't. I don't think you did. I don't think you. Like in school, are we actually learning what? No. But I can tell you about different rivers, tributaries, perennial and non-perennial rivers, cumulonimbus, stratus.
That's clouds.
I mean, that's how I roll, son. But that has never served me in the world. Not once have I been in a coffee shop with a cloud that is having a tough day. And then I've gone, hold on, my friends. I know a few things about stratus.
Wait, let me ask you this.
Nimbostratus. Sorry. I thought that was only your word to use.
Wait, let me ask you this. Have you tried meditation?
That concept. I'm like, oh, you were without oxygen for 20 minutes. You start breathing. For 30 minutes.
Yeah, just get it back. Just get it back. It's never too late.
Into the diaphragm. Just pop
That's what started this whole thing.
like it's almost like they think my brain is just an under-inflated balloon, and I just need
Yeah, you
to
just got to puff it up.
pop it back.
Breathe into it.
Pop
Breathe.
it back like a Pepsi can.
So wait, so you were in the car.
Yes. I was in the car. It was a carpool of all the Vermont comedians that going back to their because
That's like that's all of them. Right? It is all of them. I feel like you can fit all the comedians of Vermont in a car.
I mean, if a car accident took place there, the whole industry would be dead in Vermont.
And tonight in sad news, comedy is dead. Vermont comedy lost its life today in an unfortunate car accident.
involving a clown car.
We are clowns in those cars, let's be honest.
Strewn everywhere. Yeah. So it was all of us in the car. And we're all laughing. And again, like in the moment, I did not clock it as a real observation. I mean, I thought it was a shitty joke.
Yeah.
And so I was bantering with him, and I said, "Oh, I mean, the guy, my friend, he said something at me, and I bit back, and I said, oh well, I mean, this guy out here is spreading rumors that I walk differently. Like, I don't walk. Do I walk differently?" And the whole car went silent. Just imagine a car of 6 comedians, just silent. And he again a lot like my parents reacted. They just he just squeaked out. I thought you knew.
Oh,
He
shame.
felt so terrible. Again, like he's now like my best friend, but it really just is that sort of constant, like I began to realize that life is just kind of like life is 8 decades of realizing things about yourself that people pick up on in 8 minutes. You know, it really that's the whole journey. And sort of was, when you're at that age, it's no longer kind of, you're past the point of like, oh my God, what does this say about me? But it really, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have that moment of like, oh my God. But then everything made sense. It all made sense. The dogs made sense. You know, because at that point in my early 20s, I dealt with a lot of instances at bars and clubs, and people were thinking that I was intoxicated when I wasn't.
Shit.
And even
ma'am, you've had enough. I just walked in. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, and it would be like, I just walked in. They walk up to me like, absolutely not.
Jeez. This is equally terrible and funny.
Well, I do.
It's like,
I do kind of want to counter it because I don't want to just say like, oh, I'm disabled and here's a laundry list of all the bad things. There are perks, okay? Like one time I was in London, I walked into the Holly Arms, which is like Amy Winehouse's old haunt. Yeah, a legendary bar. And there were bouncers outside. They stopped me. They thought I was drunk. I began to say it. They realized, and suddenly it was all cleared up. They were like, "Oh my gosh," you know. They opened the doors, the double doors, and let me in. And there was this like long. I mean, it was peak time. There were just layers of people trying to get a drink. And I was just kind of looking around. I looked back at the bartender who was staring at me, called me back over. And once I got back to him, he parted the seas straight up to the bar with me, like just snapped his fingers. The bartender puts down the drink she's actively making and goes over and the bouncers get her a drink. She's lovely. She's just lovely. I think there is of all the harmful things that happened to me, being disabled. At least, like, I'm so glad that I'm not forgettable. Like,
damn, Tina.
I just that would be the worst. You know, I often talk so much in interviews and on stage about all the weight of having to, you know, constantly alleviate people's discomfort about me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, like, I feel unbelievably seen by the world, for better and worse.
What's funny is the other day we were having a conversation, and then we were saying, if you listen to every critic in your life, you'd probably want to bury yourself and never come out again. And sometimes people do that. They go away for a little bit, you know? But while you're away, you go, those people still exist. I still exist. And I've just given them what they wanted. Then you come back and then you have a new lease on life. And there are a few moments in life where you have this kind of a realization. We had it when we were watching the Hulk Hogan documentary.
Yeah.
And afterwards, there was this announcement that was done. And I said to Trevor, that announcement that was made sounds the way Hulk Hogan always announces himself when he's about to make a statement. You can't ignore him. Let me tell you something, brother. Then you pay attention and you can never forget that. Like, a lot of people live in this quiet, squeaky voice without expressing themselves properly. And when they see someone who lives loudly like you do, or like a Hulk Hogan does, or like the president of this country does, we get taken aback because we're so not used to people just going, I'm here and I'm just gonna do and say what I want.
Well, and to get back to what you were talking about a minute ago, that kind of why people they judge or get a little bit disgruntled at me, and yeah, it's the inconvenience, but it is also this, like, I get this often online that like, oh man, well, I have this speech impairment, I'm disabled, why the hell am I a comedian? Like, what? Why take up that space? What, like, that's
what people ask you?
Yeah, kind of.
I can't believe that.
No, but I forget that I'm a comedian.
Let me tell you something, brother.
No, I forget that I'm a comedian. But
it's almost like how self-serving of you to sort of suscept to come. Well, and I think the worst take that I have heard, the most extreme take, is, well, you know that we have to accept you if you're a comedian. So like, why are you?
Yep.
How self-serving to do this? And
can I tell you something interesting about that though? We experienced that in South Africa when comedy was burgeoning. There were many comedians who would say black comedians are only getting a laugh because they're black. Like, there was literally a thing where they were just like, yeah, it's because they come here and they talk about their tough upbringing and growing up in a township and then people have to laugh because what are you going to do? And we're like, no, but these are funny things. But it's interesting how you can sort of like find the same people who will apply it to every non-default and just be like, well, you come in here. Because that's why I say I take for granted that I am a comedian. When I first saw your comedy, like my friend Ryan put me onto it. And the thing we were just looking at was the gags, like genuinely. It's like, you know, like with comedy, there's two different ways you watch comedy as a comedian. There's one part where sometimes you're just like watching and observing. And then there's sometimes where you're like watching somebody with like a, what I would call like a complimentary jealousy, where you're just like, man, the way this person is slicing apart their experience of the world, regardless of where it comes from. So it could be a straight white man who's telling you about like how boring and tough his life is in that, and you're going, this is fun. The way you're doing this is amazing. Could be somebody who's a refugee, somebody, a housewife, somebody who's, it doesn't matter. That was the main thing that I saw, where I was like, this is ridiculously funny, because it felt like you were fully observing how you were observed and how people were thinking about you and not thinking about you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I think when you're in that instance, you are so hyper aware of how people are observing you, and the fact of the matter is, there are people in this world. If you're a minority, there are people that it does not matter what you do, how good you are,
no,
anything, what you say, how good of a person. Like, they will see it as, you know,
an affront almost.
Yes, almost like a conspiracy.
Yeah,
like, oh, this doesn't belong. This shouldn't exist out here. But again, well, I always use this example, of art. You know, paintings. I wish I could remember the name of the artist, but there was an artist that would cover a whole canvas in one color, one red shade, all by just a paintbrush. And there was this massive uprising of anger, of like, why is this art? This is not art. Even though, for one, the ability to so evenly cover a canvas with just a brush is like incredible. But aside from that, there was such a anger that like, oh, this is not art, that then there became this second wind of oh, well, it evokes an emotion, so therefore it is art.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a red square. It's angering people. And that...
It's doing something.
Yeah, yeah. And, I mean, that's... I think how comedy is. I feel like you can see it a lot in the whole comedy industry of no matter what you do, just get a reaction. Just any kind of reaction is a good outcome as opposed to just kind of being out there and being like, I would so much rather get a visceral, angry reaction than
nothing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but this is what I come back to is I've seen this present itself for every type of comedy and every comedian, regardless of their background. People will just find the thing that they don't want. But what's more important for me and why I've always loved stand-up, and Eugene and I have talked about this for years. I mean, we met through stand-up, now it's like 20 years ago. It's insane.
I am a 19-year-old phenom.
But like,
I wasn't doing that 20 years ago.
Yeah, when you look at, one thing I've always loved about comedy is it's honest. And what I mean by that is, we had Esty from the Comedy Cellar on the podcast, and we were talking about this. It's you can fool like maybe one audience, and then maybe one audience can feel bad for you, and then maybe you can't do it with everyone. You can't do it nationwide. You can't do it internationally. You can't. At some point, all that's happening is people are coming to watch the show because you're funny and smart in processing the world in some way, shape, or form. Not smart just like things, but every funny comedian, I think, is smart in the way that they're dissecting words, sentences, ideas, etc., and making an audience have an involuntary response coming out of their bodies. And that, I think that's my favorite thing about comedy is it doesn't have a studio on the other side blocking you. It doesn't have like, there aren't like kingmakers. There's no, what people refer to as like industry plants or whatever, whether you believe in it or not. Comedy just doesn't
It's honest.
do that. Even audiences, I judge them sometimes. They'll be like, why did that comedian, they were never funny. Then I'm like, no. You people were laughing at them when you were. Don't try disown them now. They were of your time. Don't now disown them.
And that time was 10 minutes,
Let me
5
tell you,
minutes.
it doesn't matter. But
10 days ago.
people love acting like, sometimes people will play a clip of an old comedian even from the 80s, or they'll be like, I can't believe people were, who were, then you're like, no, we were as society.
Then.
Yeah. I know you may not like it now. Maybe it's out of fashion. But there is no comedian who can blow up apart from society.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
You can't, you just can't.
And that's why whenever I get these comments online of like a viral video of mine, and there'll be a comment like, man, the pity laughs.
Do you know how hard it is to pity laugh? These are people, can I tell you something? These are also people who don't actually go, that's one of the things I hate about the internet. And I hope you don't live in the comments. I stopped it long ago, Tina. It's just like, when you don't go to comedy, you don't understand how honest a room is.
Yeah.
You want to talk about pity laughs? I've seen some of the most famous people get on stage, movie stars, musicians, even comedians get on. Audience, first 3 minutes, they say anything, and then at some point the audience is like, all right, we've run out of the
pity ones.
Yeah,
the free ones are gone.
We can't give you the fame laughs anymore. We can't give you the pity laughs anymore. We can't. And then the audience just goes like, all right, we're done. A room is really, really honest.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the room is dark and there's anonymity. So no one in the crowd feels personally responsible for a laugh happening or not happening.
And there's also safety because
That's
people
what I mean.
come with other people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
safety of companionship. People can refer to the other person and go, I'm not crazy. No?
Yeah, the pity. You know what I wish you could do? Oh man, this would be such a great like gag for those people. I wish you could do an impression, like change your voice and then sound like you don't have cerebral palsy just for a moment, just for those people. It would break.
Oh my God.
It would explode their
That's why
brains.
you're my friend.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
I have a joke like that where it really happened. There was a woman who came up to me one time and said that she loved it, but for the first 15 minutes, she thought that I was faking it. And in the joke, I say, "Can you believe that I worked so hard on this character?" Like,
That's a good one.
I wish so much that I could somehow say it in a normal voice.
Can I tell you? It would be a South African comedian, friend of ours, Riyad Musa. He had a joke like this. So he is from Cape Town in South Africa. So he has a particular accent and he's got like quite a thick one as well, right? But he's also a master of mimicry. Can just do any voice. You name, Morgan Freeman, you name it. He nails them all. But it's jarring for people, especially who aren't from South Africa, to hear him because he'll have an accent that's quite that, like, you know what I mean? Like his accents. And so we were in Montreal doing shows, and then he was on one of the lineups, and he came out and he did like flawless accents. And then afterwards, one of the comedians came up to him and they were like, "Hey man, he's like, you can sound like anyone you want to." And he's like, "Yeah, no, thank you very much." Then he's like, "Yeah, why don't you just talk like that all the time then?"
Fair point.
And I was just like, you know what I mean? And Riyad tells that story on stage, but it's so funny because you go, "Wait, what?" The person's like, "Yeah, why don't you just, oh man."
Well, it reminds me of Maria Bamford.
Who's that?
So Maria Bamford is this unbelievable comedian. And she talks, a lot of her comedy is about her struggles with mental health. And she'll often pull out, she's got a very particular way of speaking where it's very, very dialed in. And just almost like you're hearing the inside of her voice. Just, and it really mimics this kind of chaotic anxiety and disalignment that she has with the outside world. But then she perfectly mimics a normal or like suburban white woman.
Oh yeah,
voice.
yeah.
And she'll dialogue back and forth with this normal sounding woman, and then
The inner
her,
voice.
and it's so incredible. It's so just believable. I actually, where I first found her, I did have that thought, like, oh, I wonder if she ever just had that voice to kind of mask.
Yeah, you can just like live masking the whole way.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I mean, honestly, like, if I had the ability to talk normal, I kind of wonder. I think I'd be a bit of a bitch. I think I'd just turn into something I end up despising. I would become the monster. You know? I'd just be talk. I know. 'Cause I think I'll find this newfound power, and I will just speak to more more managers. And, I don't know. I need to be humbled. I think that's what God did this to me. Absolutely not.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. Can I ask you a question? Your one of the things that's always amazed me about your comedy is your timing. And I've always wondered how much of your timing plays into the idea of what we think cerebral palsy may or may not be, and how you are actually experiencing it. Because like your body is not fully in your control, but you've learned how to live in yourself. But I want to know how you work out the timing. That's because comedy is all the timing.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, thank God for comedy, because the timing is one thing that I can control. I learned that the power does come in the pauses, and a bit like singing, when I speak very slowly, and comedy is one of the very few instances where that can be used as an advantage.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
And I mean, that's why, I can... even before stand-up, I would use that to my advantage of sort of diverting the sentence I was saying right at the end, almost just to make sure people were listening to me and not zoning out. I don't know, because I get talked to about my timing in comedy all the time. And really, I don't know, it's been one of those things that I've always had it.
Right.
And I mean, I use comedy as a kid, as a language, quite literally to show other people, kids and adults, that I was cognitively all here.
It's amazing. It's amazing that is like one of the measures that we have, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
No, really, it's truly amazing how
Humor?
Yeah. As soon as somebody does that, you go, oh shit. Like, I've seen that happen to some people who don't speak a language well. Oftentimes, I'll see it in English, obviously. Someone who doesn't speak English well. And you can see people around them treat them like they aren't intelligent. Mm. And then when they just drop one joke or one, like, you see the people go like, oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, like you're fully here. There's like even like a person who's like bedridden, or let's say an old person, like literally on their deathbed type thing. And everyone's talking about them in the third person.
Yep.
Let them drop a joke, and everyone's like, Grandpa's still with us. Sorry, Grandpa, we thought you were. It's amazing how that happens, actually.
Exactly. I like the way that you put that. Like it brings it to third person back to, oh shit. Oh, you're here. Like, you're hi. It really just is a bit of a life hack, just, but, and especially now, 32, how old am I? 32 years into my life, I know so much more about how you're going to react to my cerebral palsy than you do. So it's like, I can almost see where a bit like the algorithm. I can see where your mind's about to go.
Okay.
And that really helps, like in terms of being on stage and timing and funny you brought up Esty at the Comedy Cellar, because one story that I have from my time there was I was doing the Cellar. She was in the back of the room watching, so obviously pressure is high. And then I'm about to go up on stage. The host leans into me and says, "Oh, Tina, hang on. Dave Chappelle just walked in, and he'll go up there and do 20 minutes, but only 20 minutes he has to run after. So you'll go up after him, and I kind of I've seen this play out before, that like a big name goes up there, crushes it, and then some guy gets up after it.
It's such a painful position to be in.
Tries to like peddle their like jokes about their dog. But the whole room is just like electrified and like, and they bomb. But I was all this happening all the while SD, the booker, is watching, and I think, oh, this is how it ends. This is how. Oh my god. So I think, okay, well, I think to myself, the only possible thing that I can do is listen to what Chappelle is saying on stage and then come up with a callback joke. And then I can get up there and somehow say that, and then they can write that on my epitaph. So Chappelle gets up there, he's incredible, brings his own piano player and is just commenting on the world, and it is so profound. And then, by the way, I can say this because he actually did also say this in his special after. But about 10 minutes in, he just says, I know I get a lot of heat for a lot of kinds of jokes that I make about minorities. So tonight I'm only doing handicap jokes. I bet there's one handicapped person in this room right now, just probably in the back. That's where they keep them. Probably just sitting there like, and the whole room like laughed, and he said, probably not. Too many stairs to get down here.
Jesus, Dave.
And every comic lined up in the back just looked at me, and I thought they were horrified. But I was just like,
all praise to the handicapped God.
Yes. Yes. Like, God has smiled upon me on this day. Hallelujah. I was like, oh my God. Chappelle had given me the best possible thing he could ever give me, which really was that I now had a bullet. I could get up there and not say a thing, and again, timing, like in the moment, the timing just came up. I knew exactly.
Those are the best in comedy.
I knew exactly. I can see it before it happened. It's a bit like shooting a ball. Like, I got up there, just, and I just said, lucky guess, Dave. And just not enough fucking stairs. And the whole room just like erupts. And yeah, it's just, I mean, and that's all it is, just like to be the walking personification of a joke.
Those are the, as you say, it's like the greatest gifts you will ever receive in comedy. In those are the moments where you're just like, there's a higher power looking out for me, and they're a fan of my shows.
Yeah. Well, and also the way the comedy works, it really is. It works a lot like music. It really is that like, comedy that might be a little bit more provocative, like Chappelle. He can, that is a very particular kind of laughter when you're laughing at something you should not be laughing at. it's just almost like minor chord, but it's so good.
It is.
And it's like, and you talk about the anonymity of the dark room.
Yeah.
And it all collectively just having this devious moment. And it's so good. And then I could see just the timing of that, and then I come in and I almost resolve the situation.
Completely.
And it layers on just a whole nother level of humor to it. It kind of was the perfect moment. And I go back to Esty, the booker, and she, I'm just like crying. I'm like, I can't believe it worked, and she was not aware of the play that I made in my own head about it, and she just said, "Oh, isn't it so fun to follow a really big comedian?" It's like, yeah. Like, sure, I mean, that's why I love comedy.
Do you feel most normal in comedy? Like, of all the things in the world, I wonder where you feel the least like you are not part of a club, and the most like you're part of a club.
Oh my God! Sorry, yes, not to step on you, but yes, I mean, I feel way more comfortable talking to 250 people than I do talking to 2 people right now.
Well, thanks. You didn't have to say 2 people. There's only 2 people here, Tina. You could have said like a metaphorical number like 1 or 5. You didn't have to say I feel more comfortable talking to 250 people than you 2 losers. Then I feel way more comfortable talking to 2 people than 2 South Africans. I feel way more comfortable.
I'm mad uncomfortable right now. I'm looking at the clock, guys. Oh, even after an hour 40. I'm still, I don't know about you guys. I don't know. No. But I mean, I think there is this like level of control that you have when you're on the stage. It's the most you'll ever be able to control how you're perceived.
Oh yeah,
and that's huge. Also, a lot of the comedy, as much as I absolutely adore touring and performing for my fans, I love going to the comedy cellar and performing for people that have no idea who I am.
It is the best.
It really, like, because fresh meat, like, it just, like,
you've lived around student campuses for too long.
And there's no perceived notion of me, and for better and for worse, I know that I said earlier that I wish I could just, every person that I meet, I wish I could just have this whole conversation with them.
Right, yeah.
The context of it. But that's all that my comedy is. I'm not kidding about anything. All I'm doing is just saying what I wish it would be okay to say in real life on the street across the hot dog cart, Yeah. I mean, stand-up comedy, it's miraculous that I've got into it because it kind of found me. Like it
finds all of us.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
I feel like that's a cop-out thing to say.
No, it does. But it finds all of us. The one thing I'll say to you is, I hope this proves to be true, is don't take for granted the moment that you're in, because there's a weird thing that happens with comedy where, like, at some point as Tina, everyone, that's why I'm saying I hope it does come to be true. Everyone will have heard you and everyone will know you and I genuinely know for a fact there'll be a part of you that goes like, damn, I wish you guys hadn't heard of me because now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this weird dichotomy that we have in comedy where as a comedian, you'll spend your whole career wishing everyone knows you, and then you'll spend the remainder of it wishing nobody knew you. Because the surprise that you possess and the ability that you have to completely construct an artificial idea of you on any given night is a superpower that nobody appreciates until they don't have it. And then you hit it, and then immediately you walk on stage, and then people go, okay, it's Dave Chappelle. Ergo, he has to do this or not do this, or there's a preconceived notion. It's like, there this person is. They have to do it. You know what I mean? It's this weird, it's like you want to wish to get to the top of the mountain, but on the other side, you only can go down. Not down as in bad, but it's like you can't go up from the up. It becomes a different journey now.
Yeah, you can't exceed expectations.
Yes, that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, Louis C.K. said it to me in the most beautiful way one day. He was talking to me right before I started the Daily Show, and he said at the Comedy Cellar, he said, "Don't take for granted." He said, "What did he say again?" He said, "Enjoy the moments that you are not known, because you can only be not known for a certain amount of time." And he says, and when that goes away, you're just known. I was like, oh, this is a weird thing. What are you telling me? You know what I mean? It's just like a random thing someone's telling you. Some advice really doesn't land until you've experienced it.
Yeah.
But from a performer's point of view, I got it. Even if you're a musician, think about it. It's that old adage they say for musicians, you have your whole life to write your first album. And we get the album and we go, what amazing music. Who are you?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so beautiful. Then the second album comes out. Then we're like, okay, it's not, look, your first album is still my favorite, but this is great. And the third album is like, oh, are you still singing about heartbreak? Oh my God. Or fourth album, you don't sing about heartbreak anymore. Their voice is a little like with that thing they do. It's amazing how quickly you can go from being a breath of fresh air to just being bad breath.
Damn.
Wow.
So I hope you just hold this moment for yourself for as long as it will be, because it won't be at some point, and then you'll look back and go, damn. You'll turn to someone and be like, they're like, oh no, I know everything about you, Tina. I love your vibe. I love your vibe.
Yeah.
You're not throwing me off at all, Tina. And then you're like, damn. Even the dogs in the street be like, Tina, what's up, Tina?
Who let Tina
Tina!
out?
You come towards me, they'll just start humping my leg.
Don't press anything. We've got more What Now after this.
You are arguably the most incredibly lucky person ever. Luckiest person I've ever met. Because what could have ended your life set you on a course, brought you into a world with parents who played for a living, who took you to go play with them for a living, and you met people who play for a living in the theater, then you went and played for a living. So everything that has happened to you that is monumental, that is sort of a discovery of what the disability brought out of you, because I don't think you are the disability, it just brings out stuff out of you, was your 7-year-old brother, and obviously the car ride going home when you made the realization after the roast. And after that, it was smooth sailing for you, because those two truths were enough and they were fact. But the fact that the doctor was able to get to the hospital on time, resuscitate you, and your parents had you for the rest of their lives trying to shelter you from not losing yourself is a gift that you can give to everyone else when you live loudly and get on stage. And that's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's people, I get painted inspiration a lot. And I have a very complicated relationship with our inspiration. I think I'm sure that you both get that too, and it doesn't land in the way that I think people expect it to land in you, because oftentimes if I'm doing an article or talking to a fan, they'll ask kind of why are you doing this? What's the goal? How are you looking to get to imprint on everyone? And now I kind of have developed this media trained answer of I think that even though disability is only relative to a certain section, I think that the need for acceptance is universal. That's the media trained. And in reality, I don't have a goal. I talk about myself in that I'm living in the bonus round, because it was game over, and then
from the onset.
Yes, and then the doctor put a few quarters in, and I do have a joke about this, really, that I'm now on free play and I'm above the law and nothing matters anymore. And I mean, just a lot of my jokes is a joke, but I'm hiding in plain sight, and I really is 100% true that in any given moment, I never lose sight of the fact that I'm not really supposed to be here.
How many times have I told you this?
Eugene says that all the time.
Yeah. And how unbelievably disruptive it is that the odds have fallen in this direction. And not only that it sort of led me to this career where I am impacting so many people. But again, to get back to kind of growing up in a theater with this kind of delusion of fiction, and well, of course this can happen. Mm-hmm. and this, I think I do owe a lot of where I got to, because somewhere along the lines, along with motor function, I also lost this kind of voice in my head that I need to curb my expectations on reality. And that almost, I mean, it does feel a little bit like a simulation. A bit. Not to get a little bit too meta about it, but I mean, there is this constant voice in my head of, well, yeah, of course this happened. Of course, comedy happened, and I'm sitting with you guys because I'm supposed to be dead. And for some reason that didn't happen. My life feels kind of like a sequel.
Damn.
I keep telling you this.
That's an amazing way to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something.
The thing you're saying about not knowing how to, or rather the term "you're such an inspiration" not landing. Atsuko was on the podcast, and we were chatting about this, and we were joking about it. She was saying, she learned very early on, when people are like, "You're so brave," that means they don't see you in like a good light. They're like, "Man, your shit is." When they're like, "You're such an inspiration," they're like, "I do not wish I had your life." That's what people are essentially saying.
I would rather die.
Yeah, that's what people. But there's also another layer to it that I think we shouldn't take for granted, right? In life, we are living as us, technically for ourselves. You know, I'm not saying you can't live for others and do things, but we are living as us for ourselves. Right. What we take for granted is the fact that we are affecting others around us, whether we want to or not. Mm-hmm. And so you don't need to choose to be an inspiration to be one. You just are one. And it's a strange paradigm for people to accept, because we sometimes think it comes with a responsibility or an obligation or an idea of how we should be moving through the world. But it's like, no, it's not that. And I mean it on every level, not just in the world of like fame and fortune. I think of how many parents were an inspiration to their kid without them knowing, genuinely. You know, you'll talk to people who go like, "Who's your biggest inspiration?" They go like, "Oh man, my mom. She worked 3 jobs and she'd come home, she'd still make time to love us. And, you know, it was so amazing to see how she would." But then when you talk to the mom's like, "Huh?" She's like, what other option did I have? Well, what do you mean you can't not love your kids and you can't not work for them and you can't? And they'll be like, "Yeah, but that inspired us." Mom's like, "Inspired? Get out of here with your inspiration. I was just living the life that I was meant to live and I had to live." But I think both things can be true at the same time. And I don't think we have to take it for granted. It's somebody just observing you from the outside going, what you naturally do or how you are makes me feel a certain way, and I appreciate that. And then if you are the person who's receiving that, almost just go like, "Oh, good for you." Do you know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely.
Good for you. I'm happy that is, because I often think of it this way, is like, I don't know what the opposite, is it a desperation? What is the opposite of inspiration? I don't know what the opposite of that would be. What's the antonym?
Repulsion.
I mean, I guess uninspired, but I'm going to say desperation. But imagine,
actually, you could be right. Yeah,
you know what I mean. But imagine if somebody walked up to you and they were like, "Hey, I just want you to know that you're the most uninspiring person I've ever met in my life." And we take for granted. Don't take it selfishly, but if you can inspire anyone, what a cool thing in life, man. You were just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And somebody else got the benefit of that. Like, you were the shark just eating something, and then there was a fish swimming next to you like, "Yeah, thank you so much, shark. I wasn't going to get that if it weren't for you." And you're like, "What? Shut up. I'm just being me." And the person's like, "Yeah, but I live because of you." I think there's a beautiful non-zero sum part of life that exists in that. You just get to be you. And because of that, I feel like there's something better and greater. It makes me see more in the world. But just be you. You just continue being you.
It's one of the few things in life that you can achieve without putting any extra effort.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's like being an inspiration and being a crush. Like those.
Yeah, you have nothing to do.
Two things.
And being a crush.
You have nothing to do with any of those. It just happens without you.
Like Tim Robbins, I didn't do shit. Like I just, but yeah, that it's maybe actually that's why it feels so weird to be called into your face. It a bit is like being like, "I have a crush on you." And
yeah, you don't know how to respond to it.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, like keep that to yourself.
Now you just like, this is the intrusive thoughts in my head when you say certain things.
I'm so glad you have those.
I mean, he is my intrusive thought, so God. Normally, no, but like, do you ever encounter guys who have a crush on you, but because they're fetishizing you in some way?
All the time. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Really began to happen with my comedy. I never had it, and I think stepping into the public eye made it much more apparent for me. But that's why when I was on the apps, I would always struggle when in this whole process do I say that I am disabled? Because I did learn that I was balancing this precarious world of lots of guys where they were not attracted to me because I'm disabled, and then subsect of other
College
guys.
professors.
Yeah. And then there's this guy.
A pseudoscientist.
And, and the tricky thing is, I think, people that might fetishize disability, they don't know it. It's not like them fetishizing.
Yeah.
Anime girls or something. It really because when you're fetishizing disability, what you're really fetishizing is the need for help. The
that's the sub layer. That's the
the weakness or
Dependency.
And I do often. I get that it's not, but it creeps in, It's hard to sort of. I'm still on a journey, I think, of discerning that. I mean, I'm single still, so this is like an ongoing.
I think a person, you in particular, you'd find it difficult to date someone who fetishizes you or your disability because you are everything. You're the opposite of what they think you'd be. You're immensely popular.
Yeah.
You are very confident. You're outspoken. You're independent.
Well, and funny enough, I think that's almost why people that might fetishize disability are actually more attracted to me, because there is this sort of I have dated guys that were very open about the feeling that really tickled them in a good way, that I was this powerhouse, that I was confident and successful and looked upon, and yet like I was reliant.
Wow.
Could rely on them.
Wow. That's so many levels deep.
Yes. I actually have had full discussions with an ex-partner of mine about whether or not fetishizing disability is actually good, right or wrong.
I love those exit interviews with an ex. That's when you get to know who you could have been dating. Because I've never been that honest.
It did make me question a few things.
Exactly.
Like, why are you arguing for this? But it's like interesting, you're devil's advocate.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're just into spitting. I don't know. But I think, generally, like the debate would be, well, it is easy to say, of course I don't want someone who fetishizes my disability. What? But then, I mean, I do want someone who's attracted to me, and that means all of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and disability, I've had a whole other conversation that I love having is disability and attraction, and how those two things, disability biologically being something that human beings perhaps should not be attracted to, and how despite that, we make it happen.
Right.
And whether that's a conscious effort based on society now, or if that really is a biological adaptability. But I'm just trying to find a boyfriend, man.
Is that too much to ask? I'm just a girl.
Well, you know what's interesting about it is, I like what you just said, because we forget that these things exist everywhere in every shape, in every form. It's just some are sort of more unique than others because of how infrequently they occur.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people who fetishize, like someone will be like, big boobs, and the guy's in.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they fetishize. Big butt, I'm in. And then there's women who fetishize tall guys. Tall. Is the taller the better. He's so tall. Like, and you're like, what is it about him? Just like he looks like he could just like pick me up and he kisses me on my forehead. And you're like, what? But there's people who fetishize things about other people all the time. They have a type. Yeah, it's true. They have a type. But because it is not something that we commonly encounter, we then might have a more negative reaction towards it, but we wouldn't the other way. I've met couples who go, oh yeah, he knows I'm into da-da-da. That's why I'm with him. He knows I've got a thing for blah, blah, blah. She knows that
he happens to be that thing, so he's safe. Yeah.
There's also the person.
I get you, yeah.
But the thing that I fetishize about them as a partner, they have it. And so you're in this world where it's like, I've had a discussion about friends with this where I go, sometimes I think if we're not careful, I wouldn't want to use the word like woke in that way, because not like the way people use it in like in political discourse, but more just like sometimes you can be so woke that you're unwoke.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So now you're almost going like, hey, do not perv my friend Tina. She does not deserve that. You do not think about taking her to your bedroom.
Tina's like,
please take me. No, but that's what I mean. It's like if you're not careful, you can become so considerate that you're inconsiderate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so like overly now you actually
you're overly woke.
Yeah, you restrict the person from having a full human experience because you in your infinite niceness / considerateness have now been inconsiderate and go, this person cannot have that or I must protect them from it. You know, they might even like want to overly protect you. That guy's no good for you. No. It's like, yeah. Your boyfriend's also not good for you. It's okay. Let's go. Let's keep this thing. You know what I mean?
Well, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. That it's so easy to rock off that notion of like, oh, of course I wouldn't want to date a person who fetishizes disability. And yet, the more that I think about it, I'm like, well, but also like, I wouldn't want to be loved despite being disabled.
Oh, damn.
I want to be loved and disabled. Like, I don't want there to be a pretty honestly large part about me that is tolerated.
Yeah, that the person looks at you and go, if this wasn't there, this would be perfect.
Yeah. Or not even that sometimes. It could be the other thing is not even them saying that, it's them in a way treating it like it is the one part of you that sort of shouldn't be there, but they're in the, do you get what I mean? So not even tolerating you or not even thinking about you should be perfect. It's almost like pity and love. Pity and love don't mix.
Oh God.
You don't ever want to be pitied and love. You just want someone to love you.
Yeah.
So you would rather, I would rather be fetishized and loved than to be pitied and loved.
Yeah.
Unless you're an orphan. Because that pity comes with that love, and that's why you're in this home in the first place.
Oh, I thought you were like a couple in the bedroom and like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought you were talking about fetishes with orphans. I was like, damn, bro.
Oh, and you're an orphan.
Describe your friend Tina.
Oh my God.
So, who is your daddy?
Who is
your dad? You don't know who your daddy is, do you?
Dad?
You don't know who your daddy is at all. That's why this works. I'm loving this. Oh man, Tina, this has been too much fun. We could do this forever with you.
I know.
We've got to do
honestly.
this again. I mean, it's a
Please.
pity and also a joy that you live in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
No, but I'm just up the road.
We should definitely we should just hang again. This is like so much fun.
Can we?
Yeah,
Genuine.
of course.
No, because just like comedian vibe.
Yeah.
Eugene and I talk about this all play as you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking about something again, crazy thought. A lot of people, I mean myself included, will watch podcast videos, etc., whatever. And then I'll in parts of it I'll play at double speed. Someone's going to play a part of this conversation double speed.
Oh yeah.
And then your voice is going to sound different, maybe even more normal, funny enough.
That's the thing. I actually fully expect all people with all my podcasts to be watching sped up.
Yeah, but think about how crazy that is. Because then they're going to go, wait, let me go
Yeah.
normal speed. And then they're going to think something broke on their YouTube.
Yeah. Like
It's just like,
Twilight Zone.
only, you know when we're going to get comments, only your guest is in 0.25. Something is wrong with your video. Please check your video is stuck. Your guest is in 0.5. And what's happening on this video?
You better fire some editor.
Then there's going to be someone else who goes, what's wrong with the subtitles?
Oh, man. No, for real.
Seriously.
Just like,
Yeah.
just selfishly for me as a comedian, I was just like, when Ryan put me on, because we have similar tastes in comedy, and when he put me on, I was like, this is one of the funniest things I have ever experienced, and it's been a joy watching you like on your journey go from like clubs to theaters to nationwide tours but as Eugene says, like selfishly for comedy, like vibes, man. You know what I mean? We're always looking for like more vibes, like in comedy, and you know what I mean?
Oh God, and I know I feel like nowadays comedy is more individual. It's more isolating.
Yeah, it is.
Ever.
No, it is. It
Just
is.
social media, promotion,
Yeah.
touring.
Yeah.
And so like being able to sit down.
Yep.
for
We hang
what-
with each other less than ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Less than ever.
You look back at like the history of the comedy store and the Cellar and you realize how much comedy was just one big hang.
Yeah.
It was a hang.
Yeah.
The sets were extensions of the hang.
They were.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
that's what I feel, you know, that's one of the things that always used to break my heart around comedy, was every time I would hear about a comedian who had committed suicide, it was always on the road, alone, in a hotel room. It was never at
no
home in the
hang.
city where they lived in.
Or at the club.
No, it was never that.
Or after a club.
or on an ensemble show where there was a lineup.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It was never that. It was
Yeah.
always alone, on tour, in a hotel room.
But it's safe to say our thing doesn't exist in isolation.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. No, you have to, and that's what. Yeah, I always do point to. Every comedian has an airplane joke. They have a
Yep.
hotel room
Yep.
joke, and I mean it's a sign of like you're being taken away from the very thing that made you who you are.
Damn.
So, I'm gonna get some heat for saying this, but
Say it, Tina.
but like I cannot wait for this rise of comedy in social media to die.
Damn. Say more.
Yes.
I think for so many reasons, and I say this as a comedian who owes her career to social media.
Oh, so you want to pull the ladder up. I see what Tina's saying. Now that I'm in, it's time to shut this shit down.
Get
No
on!
more comedy for you losers from the internet. I was the last one.
We thought there was room for two of a kind. It's not an arc. It's Animus 5.
We've had enough. All those, no way. Yeah, enough comedians. No, but like, for a variety of reasons, I think that, I mean, watching comedy 60 seconds at a time, when I began to get back into making it an actual effort to watch stand-up hours on Netflix, Hulu, wherever it was.
Yeah.
I realized that so many comedians that I follow and know personally, I had no idea what their voice was,
Interesting.
I had no clue because I would see crowd work. I would see just viral minutes and for one, my whole list of top 10 comedians totally rearranged itself in a way I didn't expect. So the way that I view putting my comedy online, it's not like putting your art in a gallery. It's like viewing someone's art from outside the gallery in a parking lot. That's also a parking lot to like a convention center and a stadium and a strip club. Like
all together.
It's just,
the Herbalife convention.
It's just like, I don't know. It does make it accessible, and that's good. But I think it's great for discovering that you actually like stand up. But now, I think it's just gone on for too long. Yeah,
so if I may, this is the way I see it. So I agree with what you're saying. If there was one part of it where I would sort of, deviate from how you feel about it, I came to realize a while ago that in every art, in every medium, you have to accept the reality that you have to meet people where they are. And no medium, no art form, no platform, no space has ever enjoyed seeing itself shift or see itself viewed in a different way or from a different place. I'm sure there was a world where people were really pissed off when people started making prints of art. I'm sure there was a world. People were like, no, you can't make a print of the Mona Lisa. You go in, and I genuinely know that I used to be like one of those people in many ways. But then I realized one day, I went, some people are never going to see the Mona Lisa. Most people are never going to see the Mona Lisa ever in person. Ever in person. They just won't. I have to suspend the purity that I have for this, my awe and my admiration for this art form, and think of the people first, because I've seen comedy go through booms and busts. When I started doing comedy and when I first came to the US, it was sort of like bust phase. Comedians weren't really doing well. Clubs weren't doing that great. And it goes in waves, by the way. It keeps, so your wish is going to come true at some point. But it's weird how it happened. There was a point where like every comedian got a sitcom. You did like a tight 10 at Montreal and you had a sitcom. You did a good late night spot and you got a sitcom. That's how it like worked for a while. You just got a deal. And then that's...
The boom, yeah.
Yeah, that died. And then it just died. And then it was like, all right, people are on the road and you're just grinding and you're doing comedy and you're grinding and you're doing comedy. And there were a few outliers who were stars, but people were just like doing comedy. And then comedy started making, it started making waves again. I think around like the Netflix era, it started like doing something again. It became, you sort of saw it in the public domain. It wasn't just comedy fans who consumed comedy.
Yeah.
And then that just as that wave you thought it was dipping down, social media came in a new way. And I've had this conversation with a bunch of comedians, and I genuinely don't say this as somebody who hasn't held the opinion. I say this as somebody who's now changed my opinion. At first I would go, I don't know, this crowd work and these videos. But then I went, those people are way more likely to watch an hour and are way more likely to come to a comedy club than if they never got that 60-second clip. And because I love stand-up comedy as a medium and as an art form and as a space, this is, and that's why I hate like factions and fractures in comedy. Like, I hate it when comedians even act like they know what I'm like, guys, we must never forget that we were the misfits. We were the misfits. When I see comedians becoming the jocks, I'm like, you forget how quickly you forget where you came from. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about like punching up or punching down. Forget that. I'm just saying how quickly you forget that you came from not being the mainstream in your life. You were not the popular one. Your views were not popular. Your friends were not popular. Your vibe was not popular. That's how you got into comedy. And then as comedy has blown up, you have now become the jock. And I'm like, hey, yo, man, don't ever forget why you got into it. Don't forget how it freed you. Don't forget. And so for the people, I genuinely, selfishly for comedy go, there are going to be many moments where, you know, it's like my younger brother, he's 20, 21, 20, I always lose track. He's 20, 21, 22 maybe. Barely, he like never watches movies. When he does watch a movie, he watches it on TikTok. And
really?
Yeah, like full on watch it. So I would say, have you watched Arrival? And he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, oh, it's this movie where aliens arrive and they speak through time and they see time differently. And he's like, oh, yeah, no. Oh, and then he'll talk. He's like, oh, yeah, I've seen it. I saw that on TikTok. Then I'm like, no, the movie. And he's like, yeah, I saw it on TikTok. Then I'm like, you saw the trailer? And he goes, no, I watched the movie on TikTok. Then I'm like, my friend, you cannot watch a movie on TikTok. And he's like, no, you can. And then he showed me how on TikTok people will take a movie, splice it up into little like 6 minutes or 10-minute chunks.
Wow. And
then you just go like part 1, part 2. But the main thing is they cut out everything that you as an old school movie viewer would consider like the fidelity of like the opening scene.
So they get to the point.
Establishing shots. And just they just go like pa-pa-da-pa-da. Let's go, plot. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's go.
I hate that.
That's how I felt. But then I went, when was he going to watch this movie?
And here you are talking about the same movie.
Yes, and I was going, which do I prefer? There are many movies that I've never watched in my life from before my time. And people will tell me, you gotta go back. You haven't seen Hitchcock's film about, you don't, oh my God, you don't know cinema. Man,
Trevor
good luck.
Too much at synagogues.
Good luck getting me to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
But I go, but at least they are kids who may not have what we consider the
taste,
the real bona fide experience of the film, but they are closer to it than nothing.
Yeah.
And so I'm please trust me, I'm completely with you in the feeling, but I then go like, nah, you know what? How they come in is how they come. You know who used to do this well? I guess they still sort of do. Churches. They're like, how you come to Jesus, we're not worried about.
Come as you are.
No. And what brings you? We don't worry. It could be that you hit rock bottom. It could be that you brought a friend. It could be that, and that like welcoming, inclusive feeling is one that I've tried to adopt in comedy, is where I go, what brought you here? You know where mine would go? The first time I had to deal with this was when somebody said that they liked me because they had watched like some other like clippy comedian who wasn't even a stand-up. That's the one that got me. It was there were people who were making. Have I told you about this? People would make fake stand-up shows
of you.
No, of themselves online. They would stand up in front of a green screen.
No.
And then they would use editing software to make it seem like they were in a comedy club, and they would put laughter in.
Oh,
and they would, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and people would watch this, and if you watch it as a comedian, it's uncanny valley. You'll find yourself going, something's weird here. That joke doesn't sound as funny as that laugh.
Yeah.
And then
something's off.
At first you go, am I being a hater? But then you go, no. There's a craft of comedy that I understand. That timing doesn't match that pause. And then you go, oh, and then I found out there were a bunch of people doing this. It really blew up during COVID. So they weren't comedians like stand-ups, and they'd make these shows and they would do quite well. And someone said to me one day,
oh, I love your show. So I was a big fan of this thing, and then I saw your video, and then I loved yours, and then I was like, whoa, how dare you like that and like me?
Yeah.
How dare you? Do you understand that I am a I was like, yo, man, how they come is how they come.
Yeah.
How they come is how they come. You know how I started liking sushi? First, I just ate fish fingers. I was not a sushi. I hated sushi most of my life.
Really?
My whole the first time was a girlfriend at the time. She gave me sushi. I was like, this is disgusting. It is unnecessary, and most importantly, is un-African. This here, I can never eat this. I was like, this is madness here. You are giving me raw fish to eat. I don't understand how we even paid this. How is this restaurant still in business? This is a scam. They gave us raw fish and we paid them for it. And now when you see me today, I mean, but how did I start? Fish fingers got me, and fish fingers were the gateway drug.
From fish fingers to nigiri.
So what I'm saying is, Tina, like, we shouldn't judge the fish fingers because they could bring us more people towards sushi.
Yeah, I mean, it's true that there's the ego of it that I'm coming from, and then there's the logic of it that you're coming from. That like, I think the ego in me says like, I work so hard.
Yeah, we all have that. Yeah,
perceived in 60-second fish finger bites. Like this is my art. This is not dino nuggets. But you're right. That it needs. I can agree that the accessibility of it, we rely on that. I think maybe more than we like to admit.
Yeah.
I know that before comedy, before social media, I had a whole opposing gripe that I found that comedy, when people would come to a comedy show, and maybe it's a bit of an amateur show, and they do not love it, they think, I guess I'm just not a comedy person.
I would hate that. When people are like, I'm not a fan of comedy. I was like, no, that's not possible. You just haven't found your comedian.
It's not a real thing.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, sorry. This brings an interesting point. It almost feels like social media, the internet is cannibalizing every industry.
It is.
At some point, filmmakers hate the kids that make TikTok videos.
Yeah, they do.
Musicians hate AI music.
Yeah, they do.
Comedians, obviously, we know who we hate. We're not gonna tell them because now they'll know. Journalists, financial advisors, because there's people who with their shirts off and 6-packs and selling forex and driving a Lamborghini in Miami and giving financial advice. So I guess it is consuming everyone. But I think the true artists of every trade, whether it's financial services, movies, or acting, they'll always emerge because I feel like the true thoroughbreds of any industry will always win.
Yeah. Maybe all that I'm feeling is I just hope, and maybe it won't never happen, but I'm hoping that there is still this funnel, this filter from social media consumption into the bigger art form, the movie.
That's what we all hope.
Yeah.
No, that's what we all hope.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even think it's gonna happen. I think it is happening, and I think it's always happened. There is zero chance I would have ever gone to a baseball game had I not seen baseball highlights growing up in South Africa on Gillette World Sports Special. There was no world. And I'm sure someone would say you can't distill baseball down into highlights, but that's how I got it. That's how I got basketball. That's how I got all the sports that I never would have gotten. And so to sort of go back to the thing we were saying just a while ago, the people are being inspired by something. We may not wish for that to be the inspiration. Someone might go like, no, this 60 seconds is not me. And it's like, that is true. But it's the beginning of you, and it's a piece of you, and it's better than none of you.
Yeah.
And so for me, I go like, that'll be it.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bit of an ego death. I think we all have, no matter who we are in our life that we realize we're never going to fully be able to be perceived 100% authentically as we are. So we might as well let that go. let go of this, the inspiration and how I used to feel. I'm like, no, you don't know the whole story, and like, oh, they're never going to know the whole story.
I love that.
And maybe that's what inspiration is taking what they take from you. You know?
That's the most amazing thing.
That's exactly how I feel every time I'm in business class. I'm like, no, you don't know the whole story. But as they pass to go to coach, I'm like, take this inspiration. Take this as
this. Only Eugene could take a meaningful moment.
Yo, Tina, this was too much fun. Thank you. For real. This was just like too much fun. I hope we catch you backstage on the road somewhere in a thing. But either way, let's just do this again.
Are you on you're on tour?
I'm sporadically. Yes, I go where the road takes me.
Wherever there's a road, I find myself about to go.
I like that. Are you New York and LA or just
South Africa? You know what's interesting? Maybe I give off this vibe. I have never been LA. People always think I like lived there. They think no, I've been New York, but most of the time South Africa. Living down in South Africa, just living my life.
Crooked politicians in the elephants industry.
Thanks, Joe. This was fun.
This is so fun.
You are so good.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching the episode. If you enjoyed it, pass it on to a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, pass it on to your friend still. Let them suffer for a change. And don't forget to engage with us in the comments. If you want to suggest a guest, maybe there's questions you want, maybe there's ideas that you have, you can chat to us. We will read through the comments and we'll get into it. Either way, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for hanging out with us on What Now? And remember, we do this for you, so we would like to hear from you. Till next time, thank you.